Hello, friends and family. Welcome to the 2021 Stafford Open here at Stafford Woods in Voorhees, New Jersey. This coverage is presented by Innova. I'm Holly Finley.
And I'm Leah Tsinajinnie.
And this is the Round 2 Back 9 coverage. Here on the card, we have Missy Gannon, Holly Finley, Michelle Frazer, and Stacie Rawnsley.
Going into the back 9 here, we have 2 people under par so far. Looks like it's a close race for the first place right now. Here's hole 10, par 3, 265 feet. This is one of the tiniest initial gaps to hit. And then once you get back here, hopefully you can sneak through a couple trees and get onto the green for your birdie look. Michelle looks like she shapes hers through, and that gives her a circle 1 look for birdie. Great drive.
A little low out of the hand from Stacie. Gets caught up on that fallen tree. At least she's in the middle. This looks tasty.
She stands that up nicely.
Missy sneaks up into the circle. She'll have a birdie look as well.
Pulls that one towards the right side. And it fades right just outside of circle 1.
Oh, a little cage hit from Stacie.
Ooh, that would have been a nice little highlight.
Got about a 45-footer here.
Catches some chains, but not enough.
And Michelle capturing yet another birdie. If you haven't watched the front 9 coverage of round 2, go check that out. And a little bit of a misfire for Missy.
She might have been thinking about those trees a little bit. Oh, and that one didn't seem like a fair drop spit out.
Par for Stacie. Haven't seen a lot of mistakes out of Missy today. Here we are on hole 11. I love it. A par 5 in the woods. You need a nice, clean drive. If you can, make it over this ridge here and see if you can sneak down as far as you can, but you want to keep it in the middle. The further you drift left or right, the more difficult this hole gets. It needs to be fairway, fairway, fairway to get a fair chance at a birdie. Your second shot should land somewhere past that gray pile of gravel that you saw, and if you can make it over the ditch, that'd be even better. Sneak your third shot up here into the green and see if you can get yourself a 4 on this par 5.
And that hole played as the first most difficult hole in round 2. So we'll see how Michelle shapes her drive.
Better than yesterday. I'll take it.
She puts a positive spin on that. Stacie throws an avatar, but it comes out a little bit too right.
That looks clean.
Got a road runner.
Right in the middle of the fairway.
And Missy pumps a solid-looking drive out into the middle as well.
She follows those vapor trails.
I love the ground play it got. Stacie being smart and just opting for a placement shot. And it gets caught up there, but you know, it looks like she's somewhere where she can get something done after that. Not too difficult. As long as you're not too deep in the laurels, it doesn't get quite as frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Stacie lands on the edge of the fairway as well.
Looks like she's got a way out of there.
Yeah.
And she finds one.
That'll work.
From there, you can do another placement shot to try to get to the green. Full turnover for Holly. And that is beautiful.
That was fun to watch.
Missy opting for a standstill sidearm, and she'll land in the ditch as well.
I love when she pulls out her sidearms. They're very clean.
And you can see Stacie is just barely off the fairway. I mean, what is that, 5 feet? And you can see just how difficult it is. It's more of just a chip, chip, chip game if you're not in the fairway.
Showing how hole 11 played as the hardest hole.
Yep, and she opts for another placement forehand. She'll be in the ditch as well with Missy and I.
Wow.
Oh, that was tasty. Michelle's got a good standstill game.
Looks like Missy's throwing her zone and lands in circle 1. Straight up shot. Michelle with a long look. That tree seems to get in the way of a lot of putts. Just hits the top of the cage. This is Missy for her birdie.
Solid putt from Missy.
She cashes it alongside Natalie Ryan and me, yours truly.
And Michelle taps in for her bogey. And me for par. And Stacie with an unfortunate double.
Her putters match her shirt.
Yeah, she's got some cool shirts going on this season.
This is hole 12. It's a par 3, 243 feet. It's an uphill left turning drive. So you want to swing it out either on this right side wider gap or cut inside to get into the circle. I know all of the FPO field is trying to birdie this one, but it's trickier than it looks.
Starting here on hole 12 is a stretch I like to call Turkey Alley. They designed it to have 3 shorter holes so you can get 3 easy birdies. And Missy sneaks one up into circle 1. She'll have a look at birdie. And I am hoping to do the same. I switched up my disc from yesterday.
And it looks like you made the adjustment. Do I spy an MJ caddying for you?
Yeah, he showed up on the back 9. He saw I was having a bit of trouble and thought maybe he could take some weight off my shoulders.
Oh, that's a great friend right there. Michelle's kicked back a little bit, so she'll be in circle 2. This is Stacie. That drive is looking clean.
Yeah, Stacie right inside circle 1.
She might have a little bit of a tricky putt.
Michelle up first for her birdie. I feel like that's the first putt I've seen Michelle miss all day. Stacie on circle's edge from 33 feet.
And she
Nice.
hyzers it in. That's a good putt. And that's a great bounce back after her hole 11.
Missy Gannon for bird. Solid putt.
Great drive and putt by Holly.
Michelle smiling as she taps in her par.
Lead card going 3 for 4 on that hole.
Michelle said, "I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to miss the bird." Hole 13. This is a shorty. I love this one. You can mostly do just a standstill throw and let the disc do the work. It's slightly downhill. It's a little bit tight to get there, but as long as you land somewhere in the circle, I feel like it's a fairly easy two. This is a hole where if you try too hard, that's when you mess it up. And for 2 days in a row, Missy is opting for the standstill sidearm.
Let's see if it gets sneaky.
Right through that little gap. I've changed my approach from yesterday. Yesterday I had a slow walk up. Today I try the standstill with a mirage.
Ooh,
Great.
that was a very clean drive. Stacie also opting for the forehand, and she follows Missy's line.
Yeah, sneaks around that skinny tree. She's CTP so far. Michelle's shot a little too inside, but she gets lucky and sneaks up into the green as well.
There is a little bit of a route back there. I've seen a lot of disc get through on that right side.
Missy capturing another birdie here on hole 13.
Some laurels in the way. Let's see if she can make good on this straddle putt.
Boom, Michelle Frazer, another birdie.
Somebody stop her.
Don't.
She is on fire this round.
I love to hear the claps from the spectators. We do appreciate y'all coming out. And Stacie taps in for her easy birdie.
And we had a star frame.
And check out the top 10 leaderboard. I see you up there in 9th place, Leah.
Yeah, I'm trying to make my way up there.
And Alex Benson has snuck into 3rd at this point. Margaret Sassaman sitting at 7th. And our local Becky Harris at tied for 10th.
She is a fellow lefty too. This is hole 14. It's a par 3, last of the Turkey Alley. We are mostly going to be seeing drives that either take this fatter gap or the sneakier right side gap that gets you around the back side of the green. Most of the time we're going to see some hyzer backhands, but I think I might see Stacie throw a flick on this one. And this is that right side gap. Let's see if she punched it out wide enough. Not quite, so she'll have an easy upshot for par. Holly opting for the inner gap, and that gets into circle 1. Stacie trying to throw an anti-flex shot.
A bit of an unfortunate kick. That'll leave her fairly far away from the basket. And Michelle, I consider this to be the trickier of the two routes. Sneaks it all the way up there.
She is 2 for 2 on that tighter gap. That's
Yes,
a great
ma'am.
drive.
It really is.
Stacie putting through the trees. Gives it a good run. Yeah, Holly. That's a good birdie.
Thanks to those outside chains. Got to give him a little squeeze there. And Michelle with the CTP. And gets yet another birdie.
Wow, wow, wow. That is so impressive. Especially with the line that she took.
And Missy taps in for her par. As does Stacie. And the ladies head over to hole 15, which is a new tee pad for us this year. We used to play further back into the woods where we have to shoot out of the gap, and now the tee pad is actually at the gap. So you want to take a drive and just pump it out there as far as you can. This is a chance to show off your distance. The further you can throw it, the easier it'll be for your second shot. The second shot is really where it gets difficult. You need to pick an alley and find out how you're going to sneak into this green. You can go straight shot, hyzer in. You can go under the low limb and hyzer in, behind the low limb. It's just a lot of different routes to get up there.
And that's a good rip. It's going to finish out on the left side of the fairway. Similar to round 1. Michelle gets some good turn on that disc.
Exactly. Missy pumping one out there. That's shaping up nicely.
That is a smush.
A straight smush.
We know Stacie's got it in her too.
Stacie going big.
That's funny. Stacie with the boom sauce.
Michelle's sneaking it into the shadows, and it is going. It's still going.
Oh my.
Still going right
Wow.
outside of circle 1. She'll have a putt at birdie.
See if it can sneak around.
A little too inside on that upshot. See what Missy can do here.
Looks like she misfires, but there is a way to get to the green on that backside.
Love that upshot.
Missy with a long putt. And she'll be able to tap in for her par.
Just stick it on the chips.
This is Michelle for her birdie. Oh, so close. Same for Stacie, and she makes good.
Great birdie from Stacie Rawnsley.
She was the only one to card a birdie in round 2. And that was an impressive 2 shots to get there. Holly tapping in her bogey. And Michelle and Missy for their pars. This is hole 16, a par 4, 545 feet. This one is one of the shorter par 4s that are in the wide open, so we're really going for this birdie. You have a wider left side of the fairway, so most shots are going to be trying to finish over there to give themselves a good 200 foot or less upshot. This is an interesting pin. It's hanging from the tree, so it's definitely more elevated than a normal DGPT basket. So it makes for interesting putts.
Stacie keeping it low and in between the stakes. I remember earlier in the round she tried to go outside of the stakes with more air on a similar hole and landed OB. So she changed her game plan this time and ends up safe. And Michelle doing the same. Nice low shot right down the middle of the fairway.
Those are 2 good adjustments to make for both of them. Missy keeping it low as well. For this hole, the distance isn't as important. The upshot is shorter than the hole 5 that we saw.
Have about a 350 foot look at it from here.
Lands in circle 2.
Missy hanging it out wide right, letting the disc do the work. Coming back in, she'll be right outside circle 1, about 35 feet.
Stacie with her forehand approach. That one turns enough, but it's going to fade back into the green.
She'll be safe and have a look at a birdie putt.
Michelle throwing a flex line at it. And she gets the most close. She gets the CTP for the second shot. That one's a little long to putt at, so you pitch up.
Oh, Missy gives it a go.
And hits the band. That's commitment.
I liked the hyzer angle on it, though. Stacie from downtown. Solid. Hits the chains right where it's connected to the basket and drops to the bottom. It's a good 3 to get. GK replay. Stacie had our other GK replay on hole 4.
Yeah.
With a long putt.
That was a good putt. This is Michelle for her birdie as well. And cashes it.
And you noticed in the drone flyover that the basket was not tethered to the ground, and Missy taps in for her par. According to the Pro Tour rules, you cannot have hanging baskets on their tour, so the locals had to secure the basket so we don't get the full feature of the hanging basket, but it's still got some nostalgia to it.
Mm-hmm.
Here at hole 17, 648 feet. Look at this tight corridor. Wow. Try to bite off as much as you can off the tee and get all the way down to the flats, and that'll make your second shot so much easier. And then you just got to pick your lane, any lane. How can you get to the green? You can try to be creative and get right into it, or take one of the outer routes and sort of end up in circle 1.5, circle 2.
This one played as the second most difficult hole.
That's not surprising.
Stacie with a flex forehand, and it almost makes it through the gap.
Oh my.
That one kicks left, so we'll see if she has a look from over there.
Missy with a bit of a off shot as well. She'll be short left.
That one's turning right, and it keeps going. Holly rounding out the card with an excellent drive. So this gap, that first gap that y'all hit, is the furthest from the tee, then also the smallest. So it's a very hard one. That was a good one to get.
Missy tried to do a power sidearm, little flex at it, but turned the wrist a bit too much.
Looks like Michelle's got something.
Look at this. Oh.
Such a nice.
Double kick on Missy's next shot, but she's getting closer to the basket, so she'll have an easy approach from there.
Looks like Stacie's throwing a pig. And that's a good placement shot.
Wow. Wow. That was a good shot from Michelle. I love the shot shaping on it.
Mm-hmm. She's doing some good scrambling right now. Almost gets around it, but from over there you can throw another up shot. That's in circle one. Almost gets around that tree. Missy with a straightforward approach, and she gives herself a short putt, I believe, for her bogey. And that one lands in circle one.
Stacie with another long putt. That was a good par save. She made herself happy.
She's a little giddy.
Little skip to the basket.
Holly makes good for her bogey. And Missy gets in for her double bogey.
Hole 17 showing some teeth today.
Mm-hmm. Shows why it was the second most difficult. Here we are rounding out the round at hole 17. It's a par 3, 283 feet. It's a straight shot that you need to fade right. So for most righties, they're throwing an anhyzer. For me as a lefty, I'm throwing a straight backhand. Stacie utilizing her forehand to get around the corner. Let's see if she pushed it far enough.
She'll be caught up in those laurels, which can make for a difficult putt. It's easy to get a par from there, but putting can be tricky. See if Michelle can get her katana up into the green.
She lands in a similar spot.
Yeah, she'll have a bit of a tricky putt as well.
I like how you pulled it out wider, so let's see where this one finishes. That is a great spot.
Little help from the branch.
Missy attempts the forehand. She'll be going up first to pitch towards the green.
Smooth up, hits the rocks. That should be an easy tap in for par. You can see, oh no, Michelle tries to navigate around the trees and the laurels. Now she's going to go through the trees. She'll have in tap in for bogey. Stacie is actually really close to the basket, but again, with those curly laurels, you don't have much from there.
Here you are for your birdie look. And you make good. That is a good birdie. You are joined by Natalie Ryan for the 2 birdies of the day. Michelle in for her bogey. Solid round overall. She was getting a lot of good birdies out there.
A really good round for Michelle Frazer and great play from Missy Gannon. Stacie Rawnsley taps in her par. As the ladies wrap it up here, we'd like to say thank you so much for tuning in to this round 2 back 9 coverage here on the GK Pro YouTube channel. If you haven't liked, subscribed, or shared to GK Pro, please do that now. You can check out my Instagram, Finley, and Leah's Instagram,
At Leah Tsinajinnie.
and we'll be doing round 3, so make sure you tune in for that. Thanks so much, and we'll see you on the next one.